Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Lewis coming to you from the Drew Estate studio. With me today is Seth Geis, and from the Pastani studio, John McTavish. How you guys doing?
I'm doing great.
Good, good man.
It's hot as hell down here, though.
It's not hot as hell up here. It's like lukewarm. Like we're just in the 70s finally. But man, thank you, San Diego, Stay Classy San Diego, for sending us some pipes so we can get some water, which is
There
awesome.
you go.
Thank you, San Diego. I don't care what was said about you on a particular TV show. You stay classy.
You guys were waiting on San Diego for pipes for water?
Yeah, it's like a 24-foot diameter concrete steel reinforced water pipe, and they had some backup, but they didn't have like six of them. So San
Wow.
Diego, being the classy city, they are like, we got some. We'll send you some
Well, look at
because
that.
it turns out San Diego to California or San Diego to Calgary, not that far. It's like it's like 16 hours or something like that, or 18 hours. It's really not that far.
San Diego to Calgary is only 18 hours?
It's super quick because you just cut east and then north through North Dakota, and yeah, super quick.
Wow.
Uh,
That's like, yeah,
I
that's
think they put it on
faster
a
than
truck too because it's
that's a
like
big piece. That's a big pipe.
it's a big piece of pipe. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So today we are talking about the Gellis Marevas. Cigar is kind of a petite Corona, I guess, 5 1/8 by 43. Comes out of the Tabacalera La Isla factory in the Dominican Republic. Wrapper is Ecuadorian Habano 2000 Rosado. Binders from Nicaragua. Filler is from Nicaragua and the Dominican Republic. It is blended by Kyle Gellis. The price point is $11, and the cigar was released in April of 2024. So with all that out of the way, Seth, what was your overall experience like with this cigar?
I mean, listen, before I even saw anything, I just saw that G. I thought, man, we smoking Grey Cliffs again. Um, But it was it was decent appearance. I think the band wasn't that great, but the first third begins with these sharp spice notes. It did have a little bit of hay and cream and tobacco qualities, and there was this honey that bit and wood, medium full strength and body. Um, it kind of remained that way in the second third, just some creamy tobacco notes, still some of that honey, sharp spice. There is a direction in which I think the cigar was going, or at least I have a theory about it, and that's why I really want to focus on that in the end. And the final third was pretty much really much in line. Some wood and mineral notes, still medium full strength and body. Um, Trying to remember about. Let me go back to burn and draw. I think I had a pretty good experience. It wasn't that great, but nothing, with a problem. John?
It started out pretty good for me. Kind of tobacco, mossy wood, a little bit of earth, but like light earth, not that heavy, loamy palate coating earth. A little bit of wood in the post draw, a little bit of dryness in there, and then some dark chocolate and earth came through in the retrohale, which was nice. A little bit of mild grassiness in the finish. And then as it kind of continued, and Aaron comments on this a lot, but this first time I've really noticed is a real herbal mintiness. And it was like very, very defined. Like I would say it's almost like a tea mintiness. Like it was quite crisp through the palate and through the profile. And there was some sweetness that kind of evolved with it, so it wasn't just standing by itself, but it was very standout for me, very unique. Earth finishing, and then herbal mintiness kind of drove the profile, and with the herbal component mixing with earth in the post draw. So I thought that was kind of an interesting combination, unusual, and not in the direction I thought it was going to go based on previous warped profile. Very, very different. Second third kind of medium earth, loamy earth, so just radically different from the first third. And then the herbal quality kind of came back in the retrohale, but that earth was just so dominant in the profile. I don't think that mintiness, that herbal quality kind of was able to establish itself. So that earth just kind of really carried the profile. There was kind of an interesting salty peatiness through the bottom half, which was interesting. I'm not sure it really kind of gelled for me, but last third led off with creamy tobacco, a little bit of spices, spice and earth combining through the post draw. So just really having the palate on the post draw. And then as it progressed, the earth just took over the post straw completely. And then bottom half, I'd say, really tobacco sweetness and creaminess. So kind of here and there, not really, clear where the direction of the profile is going that last third. Burn had some waviness to it. I let it go as far as I could. Then eventually I had to do a correction. And then, sometimes when you do a review or sometimes if you're smoking a cigar, you can kind of feel that cigar stalling. And the cigar really seemed to want to go out in the second third. So I increased the rate at which I was smoking, but eventually it went out in the last third, and I had to do a relight. So kind of a bit of a drag there. Draw was perfect though, so there's that. Overall, kind of an above average experience. Yeah, Aaron, what about you?
Yeah, for me, the cigar started with toasted oak and a bit of mustiness. Oak transition to cedar a half inch in, and then a bit later, some earth joined the profile. Second third saw the cedar transition back to oak, and then the final third saw some light black pepper join in. I just thought the cigar had a fairly average flavor profile throughout. Had a kind of a basic profile, that musty toasted oak, which kind of transitioned to cedar for a bit, earth, and a little bit of black pepper. So pretty simple. Doesn't really do enough to make me want to come back to it. One thing I will say is I really do like the size, but it just didn't smoke all that great. So all right, getting into the scores, we're going to start at the top with John at 5.9. I gave it a 5.45, and Seth gave it a 5.25. So John, how'd that 5.9 match up for you?
Matches up well. Never a good thing when 5.9 is a high score, but I think it matches up well. A little bit of a burn issue, but even if you took away the burn issue, again, I think this is an above average cigar and really just not something I would return to based on the scoring, I think, but matches up well.
Yeah, my 5.45 matches up well. Average flavor profile. Burn was perfect. Draw was pretty snug for me though, so that kind of knocked it down a little bit. But yeah, mid fives. All right, Seth, 5.25.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't. It smoked as if, I don't know. It's kind of seemed like he was trying to make a really affordable and cheaper version of some of his old stuff out of El Titan. It was like he was trying to mimic that flavor profile, but in the DR and for less cost. And I think it kind of showed with like the flavor qualities I picked up, but at the same time, it just wasn't really that good. Especially for $11. And it's like, I know Warped he was working out of a different. Wait, this was the factory.
This was the factory.
Yeah, and I think it's just kind of this factory seems to be, and just Kyle just a little bit all over the place. I think they can make some stuff you're like, wow, this came out of that factory, and then other times you're like, yeah, that's that factory for you. So yeah, I don't know.
Any other final thoughts from you, John?
So I was actually surprised that this was $11. When we saw the banding and the packaging, I will say, I'm not a fan of the band design. I will just call it an oversight, but I think anyone looking at that band, as Seth said, your immediate association is Grey Cliff. Grey Cliff's been around for a very long time. If I were doing a band design, I wouldn't want it associated with, no offense to Grey Cliff, but I wouldn't want my brand associated with Grey Cliff. That's kind of not the direction I want to go. But where I was going with this is that I was very surprised that the price point was $11 because the Warp stuff tends to be a little bit more expensive. So when I saw, the Gellis brand, I was like, okay, well, what he's doing here is he's coming out with a even sort of more premium version of what they're doing. And so I actually think the price point's reasonable. So, based on that, I'd say, might as well give it a shot. It's not 15, 18, $20. But yeah, the blend itself is a miss for me. So.
Yep. All right, wherever you're catching this video, be sure to like and subscribe and check out the full written review on the website, developingpalace.com. Follow us on all the social media channels, and you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one.
Marevas.